Democrats fearful of another Trump presidency, and they are sending up more smoke signals in the hopes that someone at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue is watching. One very worried fundraiser bluntly telling the Washington Post that his party is prepared to lose. And adding this colorful quote, as my grandfather used to say, well, make that the great-grandfather, I'm as nervous as a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. We all know this is a jump ball. That's a way to mix a metaphor right there. And Biden's former right-hand man is going on TV. Former White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain says the president needs to get it together, Jesse.
Prices are still high. Price of gasoline is still high. Other prices are still high, and people feel that pinch. And though wages have gone up, and the statistics say wages have gone up faster than prices, people still feel pinched in their pocketbooks. And so I think, the president needs to make more progress on that. He's going to continue to fight to bring down prices on key things that matter to families.
Biden and Dr. Jill have been adamant that the polls are just flat out wrong. So the new strategy seems to be get new pollsters. The campaign beefing up operations on that front right now. It's a little bit hard to take. Ron Klain, Jesse, talking about inflation. This was the guy who was the chief of staff for the first 2 years, pushed back on everybody like Larry Summers in the Democratic Party, who said, guys, do you really want to pass all this extra spending because it could lead to inflation? He was like, you guys are ridiculous. That'll never happen. And then look what happened.
Well, I mean, ask Greg. He chopped so much wood today. He knows the price of lumber.
That's true.
Better than anybody. Is the pilling on your shirt on purpose?
Yes.
Okay.
Pilling is very in style these days.
You paid extra for the pilling.
Pilling, yes,
It's
I
like
did.
when you buy the jeans ripped. You bought the shirt pilled.
Yes.
And that's why it costs so much?
Yes.
Okay, good, Greg. And you went with mustard, did you?
Mustard is in, Jesse.
Okay, is
the
mustard
kids
the new
love
black?
mustard.
Okay, very good. So I don't know how much progress they've made on inflation. No one else believes they've made any progress. If you look at all the prices are not coming down no matter how much they try to rig the numbers. Now, we keep on hearing about this jobs boom. All the jobs are coming from people that were born in another country. And that's what brings down wages. And I just saw him not replenish the strategic oil reserve because price of oil is too high to do it. It's at $86 a barrel. He was going to do it at 70. And I think oil prices are even going to go higher. And the stock market had a rough day today. Imagine that. The stock market corrects. You're just basically guaranteed Trump's reelection. We'll see how that shakes out. New pollsters to do what? To give polls to Joe that make him look like he's doing better? All of these polls are done by liberals. And even the Fox News poll has Joe Biden losing. He's at 38% approval in the battlegrounds. Donald Trump's at 51% approval. Donald Trump is wildly popular, wildly more popular than Joe Biden in the states they're going to make this election count. His coalition is absolutely collapsing. He is tied with Hispanics. He's tied with young voters, and he's only winning 68% of blacks. That is an absolute catastrophe. Bring back Dick Morris. That's what he has to do. Now, they're saying he needs more energy. You have to give Democrats a reason to be excited. It's not all just about the performance like a Bernie or a Trump where you go to the rally and it's kind of fun and exciting. Joe Biden has to make people on Election Day and the 21,000 weeks leading up to Election Day that we're going to be voting and harvesting, they have to make Democrats excited and give them a reason to walk over hot coals to vote for Joe Biden. And it can't just be about Trump's going to be a dictator on day one because no one's falling for that hoax.
Jessica, what about getting new pollsters if you don't like the polls that are coming out?
Well, he didn't let go of anyone. He actually just
add them. That's great. Well, Democrats never cut anything.
We love to spend, especially on good data. But the pollsters that he did bring in are specialists in certain areas where, yes, the numbers have been soft, not like what Jesse said. I have many spaghetti bridges to sell you if you think that you're going to be tied with Gen Z.
Spaghetti bridge to nowhere.
Okay. But bringing in pollsters who specialize in Latino voters and in black voters. And I think that that's smart strategy. He still has.
But I mean, because you're an expert, how does that change things for Biden?
Well, it means that he's going to be getting a wider array of information. He's going to have more people on his advisory team. And I think that that's useful. You don't want to have a cocooned candidacy, right, where you only hear from the same two people every day. You want to have as diverse an opinion, a set of opinions as you can. But Ron Klain is right to be out there talking about these issues. We see that in the data that's coming back about how people feel about their pocketbooks, what they see at the grocery stores, et cetera. But this streak of positive data for the president has continued. So looking at the Real Clear Politics average today, Biden is now up 0.1.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
No,
it's true.
I'm
You're
going
right.
to fire
You're
my
right. I know.
pollster.
is that Johnny or you got someone else?
I got
There have
someone.
now been 16 polls since the end of February that have Biden up. There was a set of swing state polls. I know we talked about the Wall Street Journal poll yesterday. It was all within the margin of error, which is an important part of this. But there were Bloomberg Morning Consult polls from last week that had him gaining in 6 of the 7 swing states. The jump ball is correct, and Democrats understand that, and we do better when we're running a little bit scared, the bedwetting philosophy.
Although, remember, like yesterday, we talked Dr. Jill Biden saying he's a sure thing, so they're not saying that they're worried at all.
Yeah, Jill Biden actually not only denied that the polls in the swing states were what they are, with Trump ahead in 6 of the 7, but she said her husband is actually winning. And as we go forward, you're going to see that he's winning. But you have to wonder, Dana, why all of a sudden did they figure that, you know what, Bidenomics isn't working? What took them so long? Everybody's been telling them it hasn't been working. So finally they say, okay, we can't, because the swing states are so bad, we can't keep doing this and telling people Bidenomics is great and you're great, you just don't know it or you aren't smart enough to feel it. But 74% of people think the economy is going in the wrong direction. And in the swing states, something like 63% think that the economy is not good or very poor. And let's be honest, this whole election is about the swing states. And so they're bringing in these new pollsters. They figure bring in the pollsters because they can't change Joe. Cognitively, they can't change him. He's not going to get any better. Is he going to debate? Probably not. I don't know if he will, but I don't have any inside information. But the truth is that these pollsters are the ones who came up with the MAGA doctrine. So you can pretty much count on the fact that the new pollsters are going to create this division. They're going to create this hate, because if you can't win on the issues, you can try to demonize the other guy. And I think that that's what's going to happen.
Jessica brings up the Cocoon Candidate. It is like it's like a cocoon election.
It certainly is. But when the Dems are nervous, I'm nervous. And when they aren't nervous, I'm nervous, because they actually take this more seriously, I think, than Republicans do. I would put a pause on any of these feel-good stories that predict this premature demise of Joe Biden. If the Democratic Party is the official party of the awfuls, the affluent white liberal females, and there is only one issue, and I beat this horse yesterday, and it's abortion. These are not single-issue voters. They're single-issue fanatics. The border could get worse. Crime could triple. Speech could be banned. War could explode. Prices would soar. None of that matters, because in case you haven't noticed, it doesn't matter now. What you're seeing today is a result of the abortion voter. You have billions flowing to foreign countries. You got drug addiction, homelessness, the decline of education, the decline in mental health. Did I say inflation? Inflation. All of these are happening now, and they are consequences of a party that won due to millions of women who were galvanized to vote because they felt that abortion was under threat. So if you want all these bad things to continue, by all means, keep energizing the pro-abortion faction, because they're just going to keep voting. You said yesterday, Trump could say he'll leave abortion alone. They probably won't believe them. Probably right. Jessica said there's enough footage of Trump saying the contrary, and you're right. So it is a challenge. So how do you overcome it? I think Republicans have to be blunt and say, hey, if you want your abortion, you can keep your abortion. Our moral argument exists, and we hope that one day you'll listen to it and take it seriously. But right now, our mission is to save this country, because you cannot reduce abortion in America if there's no America left. So a pro-life shift would be from politics to persuasion, right? Because threats and bans only feed the beast. So you have to just say, hey, look, we won Roe v. Wade. Now let's focus on everything else, because abortion, whether you like it or not, and I'm pro-life, it's become an acceptable evil, just like war. You know, we hate war, but there it goes. And men wage the war, women wage the abortions. Call it even. You take abortion off the table, Republicans will be in power forever.
It's a really interesting point.
Why, thank you, Dana.
And don't you want to make fun of Jesse's pen?
No, I didn't see it.
I mean,
Oh, that's a silly pen. By the way, how did you know what to call this?
Pilling?
Pilling. I didn't even know what. When you said that, I was thoroughly confused.
Well, because I have a lot of pilled shirts because I'm not as wealthy as you, Greg.
Oh.
No, but actually, all fabrics are terrible now. Everything pills, and it's very annoying.
But you know, you can get one of those
Like the
things
shaver.
that scratches the pilling off. Do you have one of those?
No.
A pilling
It
shaver.
does thin it out, though.
A pilling, yeah.
A D-pillar?
Yes. Ask Manny.
Oh.
All right. Arnold Schwarzenegger is flexing some muscle against illegal immigrants as the feds bust a migrant squatter crime ring.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.